had the best maps called rudders, people to get in. But then the British showed up, and the East India Company, they brought in all the opium, and they used it to take control of local towns, the gangs, all of it, and basically break the country up in pieces and in the imperial dynasties they had. So the Chinese say, the comments today, yeah, we're shipping fentanyl in and killing millions of them, you deserve it. You're like, most of us don't even have ancestors that were in British intelligence doing that. You think the people delivering opium on ships into Hong Kong and stuff knew that? I mean, we're guilty. Oh, okay, but see, that's the mindset. So I use the China example as just another known example. So there is a wide swath of rabbinical belief in Israel and world Jewry. I mean, you just go watch it. You just type into X or anywhere. Rabbis talk about how Europe's the new Rome and will be destroyed by God's judgment for what Titus did in 70 AD, sacking Jerusalem and destroying the Second Temple. And it's like a constant beef, like it happened yesterday. Rome was destroyed in 410 by the Germanic hordes. Constantinople fell 500 and something years ago to the Muslims. There's been no Rome since then. Istanbul, formerly Constantinople. So the 99% of Europeans don't even know anything about Constantinople. They don't know anything about the Roman Empire or the Visigoth chieftain Alaric and the sacking of Rome in 410. They don't know about Titus. They don't know about Pompeo. They don't know about the Roman emperor ordering Israel destroyed. But Benjamin Netanyahu does. And the rabbis teach that Europe and America is the new Rome and that we must be destroyed for our sins in 70 AD, destroying the Second Temple. That's a long memory. And I see all the anti-Semites. By anti-Semite, all they think about is Israel. To me, that's the definition. It's like they're more Jewish than the Jews. They know more Jewish stuff than the average Jew. Well, you dumbos don't know all this, do you? Because you actually don't research. You think the average Jew knows about this? No, it's certain rabbinical circles. It's a large group, but it's not the majority. I have to guess, 30%? Hundreds of videos you can find of rabbis saying, our main enemy is Europe because it's the original Rome, but America is a Rome as well. It will fall too. That's why you have the quotes of Netanyahu decades ago, when we're done with America, it'll just blow away like a dead leaf or whatever. And then you got the Christian Zionists that believe worshiping Israel is the way to heaven. Even though the Old Testament is God saying to Israel, you've been chosen to carry my word forward as priests. You're not doing it. I am going to judge you harder than anybody else. And I'm not saying the Jews aren't amazing and interesting and smart and great and bad and all the rest of it. I'm not saying there's something not special going on here. I'm just saying God said he will deliver you to the Philistines and the Babylonians and the Romans because you have not followed God's orders. And then when God sent you the real Messiah, you killed him. Now, how's that working out for you? Yeah, we got a bunch of rabbis. I mean, just hours of it. Just, oh, yeah, we're going to blow up Rome. And America is the new Rome. Notice the buildings are built like Rome in Greece. And they got the fasci in the Senate. You know what those bundles of sticks with axes in the Senate are behind the Senate leader? That's all the countries and peoples controlled and tied together by the military with axes, hatchets. And it is true that Thomas Jefferson modeled off of Greece that was then Rome was modeled off of. Yeah, here it is. Europe is Edom because they're like, we will destroy Europe. Our main mission is destroy Europe. We're going to use the Muslims to do it because I can show you hours of this. So this is cuckoo town. I guarantee you 90% of Jews watching right now did not even know this. So, I mean, you want me to give it to you with both barrels? I will. So Trump is trying to save Edom right now and reform it. And no doubt from what I've seen, they are, the big tech companies, all of it, went from trying to suppress anti-Israel stuff to supercharging it to create this conflict. Next is the false flag against the Jews. You can just put it together. But are you smart enough to get this, people? Now you know why they want me off the air, because I know. And I would tell the Israel lobby and Netanyahu, the Chi-Coms are onto you, and you're crazy enough to try to take over America and then drive it in the ground and control it and then wreck it in some weird ritual, some cucking event. And then now you're thrown to the wolves with Africa and Asia and Russia. And then Putin laughs and says, 30% of Israel's Slavic. You look at them, they are. We already run it. We'll kick the Zionists out soon. It'll be our base. So there's double dealing going on everywhere. It is absolutely out of control. Our government's put Al-Qaeda in charge. Biden did. Trump inherited it. Everybody sees that. Trump meeting with the Al-Qaeda leader, the dictator. I mean, it's just sick. You get your balls groped and put in the body scanner and fried with radiation because you might be Al-Qaeda, and Al-Qaeda's at the damn White House. And Grok goes, well, he was the leader of Al-Qaeda in Iraq and Syria, but there was no global leader of Al-Qaeda, so Jones is wrong. He's not the leader of Al-Qaeda. He's the #1 Al-Qaeda leader. He runs 2 countries. The point is he's Al-Qaeda. So Netanyahu is super unpopular, 50% approval rating. He only gets to stay in power by working with Hamas he controlled. He killed the leadership and set them up. Now what's left is admitting they worked for him and are panicking and saying that Israel stood down and they had to deal with them. Of course they did. We know that. But do you think the average Jew in Tel Aviv, I mean, almost the majority are just at gay bars? I'm not trying to be mean. It's like, you know, most of them aren't the rabbinical people and stuff. They're some of the most worldly, corrupt, countries in the world. You think the people down at the gay bar know about this? No, they don't know about that. They say, oh, Star of David. Oh, Israel. Oh, we're under attack. Oh, yeah. Got one of the best militaries on record, some of the best intelligence they do. They're not stupid people. Oh, we just stood down for 7.5 hours on October 7th. We don't know what's going on. Your enemy is your government. I don't want you killed. I don't want your country blown up. You are being used to trigger this conflagration. And again, Israel with Mossad, CIA, Epstein, always at the heart of it. Because God said this priesthood has been chosen with the written word and record, because you've been tracking your generations, you've got good records. I'm choosing you to take forth this information. And then what do you think the devil's going to do when God's chosen somebody? The devil's going to put his full-time operation on taking over those people. Doesn't mean he runs them all, but I mean, my God, Jesus is 40 days in the desert, up on the mountain, here comes Satan offering the whole world. This is how it works, folks. This is real. Jesus said no. Netanyahu didn't say no. And he's got it all teed up for this. So here's a clip of Netanyahu, past and present, saying, oh, America's the new Rome. And then he's like, oh, I'm reading a book about, Israel's war with Rome. He goes, we got to win the war with Rome. And he says, America's the new Rome. He tells you America is his brand of Judaism's evil. Why? Because it's the most powerful. It's Rome. He knows history repeats. So you don't know you're a Roman. I love that line, and Joe tweeted it once, and I wasn't a big fan. I'm not a fan of TV, period, but The Sopranos, and they asked the head Sopranos guy, they go, what do you think happened to the Romans? He goes, what the fuck you think you're looking at? But the point is the point is that we are the new Rome, guys. This whole thing's Roman. It's a Roman system. They got their Judaic system. And they don't want to compete with it. Trump is a Roman. And he's trying to work with the Israelis, but they don't see him as that. They see him as Titus. They see him as Pompeo that sent Titus. And it's literally, looked it up, Pompeo goes all the way back to that leader. It's the same thing. You think of thousands of years ago, it was a long time ago. It's like 2 seconds ago, folks. You're connected to your mother and father, them to them. It's all the same blood, all the same connections, like electricity. You go all the way back. And you've forgotten all of this. And so you don't understand your identity. Well, don't worry. Other groups with long memories that got their shit together, they do. And they see you as the enemy team. It's not an attack on anybody. Hey, you declared war on us? We accept the challenge. But I ain't going to spend all my time on the Likudniks and their hijacking Israel. Because there's a lot of smart people over there that know where this is going and don't want to blow the world up. Saudi Arabia is wanting to shut it down. They got all these Muslim leaders coming out and saying, hey, stop the invasion. We don't want war. We're going to kill everybody. We're going to blow the planet up. Major Muslim leaders in Jordan and Saudi Arabia like, hey, the Islamic invasion, take no more Muslims. We don't want it. We're not going with Muhammad. No, it's not. Because they can war game out where this is going. But the communist Chinese, they think they have a right to rule. They're like, we're 6,000 years old, bitch. You think you won 10 quarters ago? Because this is a 100-quarter game. No, it ain't over till it's over. The average American's paycheck to paycheck, thinking about a Netflix show, go out with your buddies playing pool, go to the beach, think about your next trip to Cancun. Xi Jinping ain't thinking about that. He's got 500-year plans. Benjamin Netanyahu's got 2,000-year plans. And you take somebody like me that knows all this, and I'm the bad guy, so I don't give you simple, mindless crap. But that's why they want me off the air, because these guys have read all the books and done all the studying, and they don't like hearing somebody go, we got one that can see. It's like in They Live, when the woman in the grocery store puts the glasses on, she goes, or she sees her put the glasses on, she goes, she talks in her watch, is like a transmitter. She goes, I got one that can see. All right, here is this breakdown. It's absolutely on target. We play this like 5 times in a row. And I guess we can give you a few rabbis saying we're going to destroy Rome. You want to see that? You didn't know you were Rome? It'd be like the Crips and the Bloods, the 80s and 90s, killing tens of thousands of each other. And then you're a black kid growing up in the year 2090 somewhere, and somebody comes and shoots you because you're black and maybe your granddaddy was in the Bloods. I mean, it's that crazy. You don't know what the Bloods are in 2090 or what the Crips are. Well, they do. So this is how the world really works, boys and girls. So you're seen as a Roman. And you think, well, Western culture is the Gutenberg press and the King James Bible and the Magna Carta and common law. Well, that ain't how the Chinese see it or how the Jews see it in Israel, the ones that are in charge. You ever notice Putin addresses America and the UK as the Anglo-Saxons? The average person thinks they have a little bit of British history. Goes, oh, I'm an Anglo-Saxon. No, Anglo-Saxons are a Norse tribe that conquered Western Europe, and then William the Conqueror conquered the British Isles. And then Putin announces them as, well, we've had our 1,000-year war, because they invaded Russia as well, with the Anglo-Saxons. We defeated you from the West, and the Mongols and the Muslims from the East later, and so we'll defeat you as well, Anglo-Saxon. It's old beefs, people. You have to know the football teams. You got to know the flags. And Putin came out last year and said it was the British staged World War I and World War II. Hitler was bad, but we blame the British because they staged World War I and World War II. And they did to target Russia. Both wars set up to target Russia. The Russians know. And notice the longer these beefs go, the worse they get. You got the Russians and the Anglo-Saxons fighting for 1,000 years. And then you see Ukraine, million-plus dead. I mean, that's the Anglo-Saxon-Russian deal. And Hitler made a deal with the King of England, Edward VIII, to attack Russia for the Anglo-Saxon Empire and had been promised it to Germany and wrote about it. So the Chinese want to get America, not the Chinese person on average, I'm talking about the Chinese government, and Europe because of the opium, the fentanyl their day. The Jews are pissed because the Roman general burned everything down, and you're like, what? That makes sense to me. Well, that's because you don't understand. These people understand. Have you seen Dune? Have you read the book? Frank Herbert, it's genius. The later books aren't that good. He's made money on them. House Atreides, House Harkonnen, all these houses, they're thousands of years old, and it's all about the beefs. It's all about the wars. It's all about how many times they tried to beat the other one. And these empires are still there, and they're pissed. They've been battling and battling. It's not that the Jews are bad or the Chinese are bad or the Anglo-Saxons or the Russians. We all got our problems. But these are the football teams. And if you don't know the football teams, you don't know what's going on. When Baron Harkon's about to kill Duke Leto Atreides after 2,000 years of war, all because hundreds of generations before, his ancestor had betrayed the Harkonnens when they were the good guys. He says, finally, your house dies tonight. Your son, your wife, your concubine, your house, you're all dead. Finally, the 2,000 years ends right now. Your house dies tonight. Last of the Mohicans. This is based on true stories composited. Incredible book. It's the last Mohican there, and you got the tribe that's exterminated all his people because of hundreds and hundreds of years of war. And he says, today your seed dies forever. You are the last of Mohicans. I'm going to kill you. This is what it's all about. This is what genetics is about. It's what eugenics is about. It's what Plato wrote about. This is everything. This is the real world, folks. It ain't your football team, the Titans versus the Redskins or the... No, that's all facsimiles. The real war are these forces. And America was the relaunch of the Renaissance, and a whole new system to transcend this to the Renaissance and Christianity, and will transcend these groups. But it doesn't matter. We're still seen as the Rome. And our leaders built D.C. as Rome because that's what it is. So we're this outside intellectual group with Thomas Jefferson trying to come in and take this over and fix it and create a cosmology for everybody to come in and stop this idiocy. So you want to know who I am? I'm Thomas Jefferson 2.0. I don't follow Mao Zedong. I don't admire Stalin. I don't admire Hitler. I admire true philosophers and engineers of success that understand human systems and create systems to tie down tyrants and empower individuals and build a human community. I don't get a paycheck from Thomas Jefferson. I get a paycheck from you when you buy products at thealexjonesstore.com. When you buy the best supplements, the best, all of it. It's all there. All right, let's go to break with this clip. I'll come back and talk about it. This is a good boil down. This is Netanyahu saying, America's the new Rome. And then later, our war is with Rome. Here it is.
So the second and third video you're about to see is really alarming. I'm going to show you the first in a second because we know how Benjamin Netanyahu likes to project. It's called The Revelation of the Method of what he's about to do.
I wrote a book in 1995, and I said that if the West doesn't wake up to the suicidal nature of militant Islam, the next thing you'll see is the militant Islam is bringing down the World Trade Center.
Netanyahu said, quote, "We're benefiting from one thing, and that is the attack on the Twin Towers and Pentagon and the American struggle in Iraq." Netanyahu then reportedly said these events, quote, "swung American public opinion in our favor."
And now it's going to tie into this video. I've been trying to tell people on my channel that America is the modern day Rome. Over 350 military bases that are just spreading ourselves out, you know, the deep state. Anyway, watch this for a second.
We had a moving visit today to the wall. I can't resist repeating this, but I'm going to. I said to the secretary that the last time Pompeo visited Jerusalem didn't end that well. But this is a different time. Rome and Jerusalem clashed over values with a great tragedy for the Jewish people. But the new Rome, the United States, views itself as a new Jerusalem.
Now, do you think it's just coincidence that this random person just came up to him and asked him, "What are you reading, BB?"
We want to know what you're reading now.
What I'm reading?
Yeah.
It's a book by a historian by the name of Barry Strauss. It's called The Jews Against Rome. The Jews Against Rome.
What made you pick it up?
Well, we lost that one. I think we have to win the next one.
Yeah, so that's definitely not a threat, huh? Definitely not threatening President Trump and the United States of America. Has nothing to do, I'm sure, with the Epstein stuff, the satanic pedophiles they're trying to cover for, or the genocide that they're doing. Want to keep funding these fake wars. Anyway, you guys having a good day today? I am. I still am.
So you just saw Netanyahu. That was just recently. I got to know how to take down Rome this time. Yeah, we understand Netanyahu. We get it. Thanks a lot, buddy boy. We need to be open about this. We need to educate everybody. We need to stop it. With the Anglo-Saxons, the Russians, the Chinese, the Romans, the Jews. Stop it. Stop fighting the last war.